Hello everybody, Azure RL here. Although I am changing the name of the channel to Presh, so that is what I would go by now. Yeah, I'm hoping to make the channel less about Rocket League content and more about game development in general. I've been getting more into game deving with some friends lately, so yeah, hoping to share tidbits and bits of that here. I don't know if that's the right way to say that. Anyways, yeah, getting to the topic of the video thumbnail and video title. I put together this Unity project here, and it is essentially bringing Rocket League-esque mechanics to a space context. So I was inspired to try this after watching The Expanse, which is a sci-fi political drama show. It was pretty good, and I liked how the spaceships moved. I was also inspired by, I feel like Rocket League mechanics outside of the context of Rocket League is something that a lot of people have thought of, and it just hasn't really been pushed on that much from, at least as far as I know. Maybe there are some indie games that I haven't really noticed. And then also netcode for game objects came out a few months ago, so I wanted to try maybe networking a space Rocket League situation, which I've ended up temporarily calling Stellar League. So yeah, let me walk through the project here. I'll walk through some of the gameplay, or all of the gameplay. It is controller support only at the moment, and I've basically set it up so that the spaceship controls feel like my Rocket League aerial controls. It's definitely a little different, so it's like Rocket League but without friction, less air friction, and infinite boost and zero gravity. So, and I've also kept dodges, although it feels a lot different. Conceptually the same, but that would be like a front dodge, back dodge, side dodges. Yeah. You can kind of dodge cancel like you would in Rocket League 2. The only literally not Rocket League available controls would be reversing, so I added the ability to reverse like that. And then I also added strafing, so if I hold down both L and R, kind of do this like strafing motion. Not really sure how they would be used yet in context, but I just thought it was interesting because why not be able to strafe in space? And there was a lot of strafing in The Expanse. Yeah, so if you want to see the controls, I did add them to the start menu here. Let's see if I missed anything. Oh yeah, the camera offset. So, I mean, in Rocket League, you're never really boosting down. But in this you might be, and your target might be something that's like below you. So I added this option to sort of move the camera if you press the right stick to shift down. So now it's like easier to see stuff maybe below you. And then if you want to look at stuff above you again, you can shift the camera. So that was interesting. And then I also added a hyperspeed. So, in Rocket League, if you go full speed for long enough, you'll go to supersonic. In this, you can press a button to activate this hyperspeed mode. So yeah, I mean, even flying around in the free roam space is just interesting to maybe come up with some ideas for what kind of context would be interesting for this ship, whether it's multiplayer or single player. So this is where I added the Rocket League-esque situation. So I was trying to experiment with a ball and a stadium, and so basically if I hit the ball into those bigger boxes at either end of this stadium, it resets. So essentially you've scored. So I did add a ball cam as well. If you press Y, it will lock onto the ball, and you can hit it. It's like if I don't hit it into the goal, it's definitely much harder to track to the ball in this than Rocket League. Maybe it's just because I'm not used to it, but oh boy. Yeah. So one thing I did add that's kind of Rocket League-esque is because there's no gravity in this and you never really have any surface to sort of go off of, I did add this idea of magnetic walls. So if you get close enough to a wall, it sort of like sucks you onto the wall like that. And then you can just like turn on the ground. And you can't go like, you can't, I don't know if it's yaw, no, it's pitch. You can't pitch up or down basically once you're locked onto a wall. But if you press the dodge button, you'll just go like straight off the surface. And you don't have the access to doing that when you're off the surface. You can only air roll and dodge. So yeah, I thought that was an interesting way to compensate for the fact that you never have a ground in this game compared to Rocket League. Yeah, so I'm curious to see what you guys think and ideas for improving this. There's obviously so many directions you could take this. It would be so ridiculous to see if people become mechanically good at something like this. Anyways, that's that. And then I did also add oh yeah, the other thing I forgot to mention is the stadium is kind of small, so it's like hard to ever really use hyperspeed in there. It's kind of unfortunate that it's not useful in there. Maybe there could be other ways to incorporate it. Yeah, I added this racetrack just, so that you can test out the aerial controls here in a bigger space with some context. If you turn on camera lock, it just locks to the center of the next ring that you have to go to. Ooh. Yeah, I've found the race mode to be the most entertaining at the moment, but and it gives you the completion time on the bottom left if you want to try to time trial it. And yeah, that's basically all the gameplay. Let me walk through some of the parameters I surfaced in the project. So if you go to the player, here is the flight controller. So here you've got the thruster force, which is your just general movement. Magnet thruster force is your general movement, but while you're stuck to a wall or the ground or something. Booster force is your main booster, so if you're using the right trigger to move forward. The burst force is your dodge force, so I mean that's maybe where you could play with like going crazy with getting full 360 dodges and stuff. I don't know if Rocket League actually, I don't know if you do a side dodge, it actually goes a perfect 360, but I don't know. You can mess with that. Burst cooldown, how long until you can dodge again. Hyperspeed boost multiplier is how... it basically multiplies onto the booster force to determine how fast you're going while you're in hyperspeed. Excuse me. And the magnet force is... I want to say the force applied when you like burst off of being magnetized. Yeah, that's the player controller. So on the camera controller, you've got smooth speed and rotation speed on the camera. This is where you can mess with the curve, the animation curve for the Y offset that I showed. And yeah, that's really the biggest two scripts are the camera controller and the flight controller, since it's like a bunch of physics stuff and a bunch of LARPing stuff. And then I did also make the game input script separate. So everything that's referencing whatever you're doing with controller input is set up here. Just because I know, Rocket League is a big thing in Rocket League is being able to customize your controls. So for now, at least you can do that programmatically in here. The action map it's reading from is this guy. It's using the new input system stuff. So yeah, if you want to change up the controls, you can do that there without tampering with the other code much, which is nice. Yeah, I think that's it. I think what I'm hoping for is, this made you want to maybe try something with this project. It's very sandboxy right now. So, the ship could be put into any sort of context. Or it could be, you could go even crazier with the mechanics and make the controller scripts more sophisticated. I know some things my friends were saying, in space, they feel like the forward facing camera should also like track to your pitch as well, which is not something that's in Rocket League. But so like, I don't know, you could probably go either way with that one. There's a lot to experiment with. Anyways, I'm going to leave the GitHub link to this project in the description, and hope you guys enjoyed the video, and let me know if you have any questions about the project, or you have any ideas for maybe where I could take the project. Otherwise, yeah, peace.